welcome to Mindful Mornings with Brittany. Today I wanted to share a poem from Anne Sampson. So I find a lot of us can get, and it's part of life, we get these ebbs, and then these beautiful flows, and then these ebbs, and then some beautiful flows. And in those ebbs, oftentimes we can lose our spark. We can feel really just depleted, exhausted, like we don't want to play the game anymore. And so today Anne Sampson's poem is called Voice. And see if it resonates, if it lands. If it doesn't, that's fine. Call by all means, but just once don't use the broken heart again voice. The I'm sick to death of life and women and romance voice. But with a little help, I'll try to struggle on voice. Spare me the promise and the curse voice. Please, when you get in voice, the nobody knows the trouble I've seen voice. The I'd value your advice voice. I want the how it was voice. The call me irresponsible, but aren't I nice voice. The such a bastard, but I warn them in advance voice. The we all have weakness and mine is being wicked voice. The life's short and wasting time's the only vice voice. The stay in touch but out of reach voice. I want to hear the things it's better not to broach voice. The things it's wiser not to voice voice. So it can seem a little bit wordy, but she's reminding us to speak our truths, to speak with confidence and passions, and to move forward with, yeah, it happened, but I'm going to keep going. So see if that resonates with you and if you can carry it through your day. It's a great reminder that we get to choose how we show up. It's okay to feel depleted, it's okay to feel down, but we can choose to let that run over us and take over, or we can sit with it. We can say, I hear you. I feel your sad. I feel your frustration, your defeat. And there's space for you here. But we can call upon the wise inner wisdom within to say, how can I move through this so I don't have to necessarily feel like this for much longer? And that's not to dismiss grieving times or anything like that. But it's to remind you when you have a bad day, it's okay to acknowledge that, to feel those feelings, to validate them, but then to come out the other side still strong. Yes, it happened. Yes, I did that, but I'm going to move forward, to not beat ourselves up, to not let the inner critic shine. And so with that, I did just want to do a gentle movement practice today. So you can do this on your bed. If you would like to do it on the floor, you're absolutely more than welcome to. But we're going to come into just a beautiful resting child's pose. So again, either on your bed or on the floor or on your yoga mat. And I want you to take your big toes to touch. Take your knees out nice and wide. Sink your bum back to your heels and then walk your hands forward and just let your chest start to melt towards the bed, towards the blanket, towards the mat. If your forehead doesn't come down, you can take your fists and just let them rest on your fists. And just finding the breath. Feeling with each exhale as your chest softens a little bit closer to the surface beneath you. And then with an inhale, I want you to lift your gaze. And then as you exhale, you're going to just walk your hands over to the right. Your hips stay where they are. We're just walking over to the right, feeling a nice stretch through left side body, letting that forehead come back down. And a big breath in. Exhale, walk those hands all the way over to the left. Letting that forehead come back down. So starting to stretch and expand through the right side body now as we compress through the left. And then with an inhale, lift the gaze. Exhale, come back to center. Let yourself melt here for 2 more breaths. And then with an inhale, bring yourself up into a tabletop position. So stacking your wrists under your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. Roll your shoulders back. Inhale, take a cow pose. Drop your belly, gaze and tailbone lift up to the sky. And as you exhale, push away from your mat, round through your spine, pull your tailbone and chin in towards one another. Again, inhale, drops the belly, gaze and tailbone lift. Exhale, we push away, round through the spine. And then from here, go ahead and just walk your hips back onto your heels. All 10 toes are tucked underneath. We're letting the weight sink down onto the heels, opening up all the meridians in the toes. And then as you do that, I want you to take your fingertips all to touch and then push into your fingertips. Okay, so creating a little bit of space between the palms, but pushing into those fingers for 3, 2, 1. Take a big breath in. Exhale, come forward, release your hands. Take the tops of the feet now to your bed, to the mat, to the surface beneath you. And then just lean back a little bit, stretching through the top of the feet. And then go ahead and come up. You can swing your legs around to come onto the bum. And then taking those legs out nice and long. Inhale, reach the arms up. And then exhale, you're going to start to walk it forward. So just draping yourself forward. Pull your heels in if you need to release some space in the low back. Okay. And you can take your hands on the toes. You can take your hands around the ankles. If you have the space, you're going to slowly start to walk your legs further away. And just breathing into a seated forward fold here, opening up through the back of the legs. And then we're going to come into waterfall or shoulder stand. So if you're new to this practice, you can just take a couple pillows or a pillow to start, and you can wiggle it under your hips. So you're going to find yourself coming onto the back. Okay, you're going to lift your hips, hold that pillow underneath, and then kick your legs up to the sky. If you want to come into that more full shoulder stand version, 2 things you can do. You can lift your hips, walk your hands underneath, and then kick your legs up, and bring your hands to the back. Alternatively, you can just use momentum and come up. And you're going to hold this for as long as possible. Getting the lymph to move in the opposite direction, blood flowing, bunch of good stuff. All right, guys, so I'm going to be here, but you enjoy the rest of your day. Have a beautiful day, and remember, use your voice. Hi, Shadow. Have a great day, you guys. Be sure to follow and subscribe to catch tomorrow's video, and I'll see you tomorrow.